Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing tonight? Hope everyone is having a wonderful evening or a lovely start to their day. I'm not gonna lie, I am super nervous to do this because I am not claiming to be some insanely good artist on this. I'm just a dude out here having fun. Also, yes, before anyone asks, I did actually get a new microphone, but I don't know yet if the mix is completely perfect, so please do let me know, because I don't know if it has yet. But yeah, I'll just quickly take us over to the bar while I prep this, because I just need to sort out a couple of things real quick. But yeah, I have a new mic. Hopefully it works. I would like to think it does, but again, very new, don't know yet if I've got the balance right, so please just let me know if the balance is a little askew, because hopefully it shouldn't be. I was debating what we were going to do, because I had two options. I have been working on one piece for a little bit. I have like the main like concept, like the still down, but I don't have the animation sorted yet, so we could either do that or we could just basically start on a completely new piece from scratch. I think for now though, just so I can warm up and get a bit more comfortable, I think we'll go with the new one. Just to buy us some time. So give me just a moment here. Okay, I need a window capture, and I need it on this one. Okay, perfect. So now we have visuals and showbook. Perfect. Now we're all set. And don't worry, we won't be doing this in complete silence. I will have some music for us to enjoy whilst we are going along with this. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, the music will not be there. But for those of you who are live, we'll enjoy some nice jazz music courtesy of Pretzel Rock. Brain is failing me tonight. Don't know why. But yes. So for those of you who are like rewatching the VOD for some reason, sit back, maybe put on your own track, set your own music. It doesn't have to be specifically mine. And yeah, without further ado, let's just sit back and enjoy ourselves. There we go. Oh, wait, give it a second. Okay. Some nice piano. I can roll with this. Yes. Oh yeah, and because of how Pretzel Rock works, if you want to know what the song is, you can always check it out. So feel free to use that to your heart's content if you wish to know what is being played at any one time. But yeah, let's get into something this animation though. So what I'm thinking is, because the way I want to kind of structure like most of the intermission panels is that I like to have the idea of there's like a few moving elements. Oh, actually, let me move over to a happier expression now that we're in a bit of a calmer spot. Is I like to play around with like tiny bits of animations and see if I can. I don't like to have them looping, but of course, with the tools I have, it's very limited in terms of that. So what I'm feeling is, I know one of them is I want to make this like light strip because, as you saw from my like just chatting panel, I have like that green, like the illuminated like bar countertop, and I wanted to add an animation that basically, because it's normally just the single light strip that kind of fades out near the edges. I was going to basically have it that it splits down the center and forms like two subsections and then comes back. And then like reforms again. So I'm thinking I would like to do the same thing here, have it almost like as if the split is right there. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll quickly copy this frame and we'll see if we can try and make a slight part down the middle. So let me just move all of these layers for a second, and we'll just work with purely the strip. I'm going to try and figure out this partition, get that nice like roundness to it that you would expect from like what is it, that diffraction, that decay, if we can. So let's, for now, we'll just like fill a selection for now with this particular shade of green, just to see what we can do. Oh yeah, and let me know if the music is coming through too soft or too loud, and I will adjust that on the fly. But yes, where do we want to mark this? This is the one problem. I want to do very precise measurements, but you know, with something like this, you can't really be as precise as you want to. Although I guess if I use the X values, then I can. Yeah, so let's maybe like mark a line from about 300, which is about here. Oh wait, that's not on the right layer, is it? Oops, better quickly undo that. Oh wait, undo and undo it again, and now perfect. Okay, let's now actually select the right layer so I'm not an idiot. Okay, let's get the line up. Yeah, the one thing you're going to notice about my style is I'm very specific on details. Like I don't skip anything. I like to be very precise. Again, it's probably a bit too analytical for my liking, or for most people's liking, because you know, there is kind of this notion that art should not be completely mathematically based, but you know, again, art is subjective and is in the mind of, I almost said the mind of the beholder. I'm like, that's beauty. That's a completely different thing. I should also probably do the same down here. Come on. There we go. How close did I get it on that side? Almost. This is the one problem that you're also going to experience with half the stuff I do. I am very OCD. So I will fuss over tiny details until the cows come home. Okay, how's that look? Perfect. So now if I just go ahead and do this, perfect. So we have our midpoint, so we know where we want the split to occur. So now we need to round these off. I'm thinking probably we'll have that same kind of exponential decay in the middle, so we just need to mark where these like rounded sections should be. Which I'm thinking the best way to do it is we'll make another layer and we'll just go like over the top with like a red or something. I probably don't need to be explaining my process, but you know, for some people maybe they want to know or want to learn, and if not, that's perfectly fine. Like this isn't the kind of thing where it's always for everyone. Oh yeah, okay, this is the one I remember I wanted very specifically. I need like perfectly on the 150. Actually, I don't know where the middle of this is. You know what? I'm just going to figure it out as we go. Yeah, it was close. It was close. I can do a quick adjustment to that. Okay. Grab that. Almost. There we go. Perfect. That's reasonably centered, I think. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. I'm actually going to copy this because I should be able to rotate this if I remember correctly. So I'm going to quickly open this and see. Actually, no, because we need to pull this back slightly because again, this is going to be slightly more rounded because yeah, at the end of the day, we want this decay to like go towards this edge. Like this will be the exact edge point. So what we want to do is we want to actually take this. And now we'll copy that. We'll paste it. We should be able to rotate. Yeah. I haven't forgotten my own tools. What are you talking about, chat? Okay. Oh, did I? Okay, hold on. Let's redo that again. I'm not letting myself mess this up. But to be fair, my OCD will do that to me. I'd be curious to know, do all artists have OCD? I could believe all of them having OCD, but again, like I feel like with anything, there is a limit to how OCD you can truly be about certain things. Because once you get to a point, at what point, or not even OCD, but like perfectionism, because at what point do you call a piece perfect? Like you could arguably say in some cases, like say, what was it? Wasn't it Ken Miura who always used to say that his work was never done? Like he never found it to be completely what he wanted. And that was the reason why Berserk never ended up, or was like, it was the reason why Berserk always took a long time for him to post, because of the fact that he essentially was always brain, it would kick in, because he always like worried about the finer details that people would never see, but because he knew they were there, he would always fixate on them. It's interesting. It's always a struggle to figure out at what point do you say a piece is finished and at what point do you say it's not. Okay, for now I think we'll just work off abstract sections and we'll color these later on, but for now let's just figure out where these pools will end and where they won't end. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, is it going to be the kind of thing where I'm going to have to just redraw them over and over and over? Okay, so that's where the white light pool's going to be. So now let's darken this a bit. We'll do it again. Yep, same circle tool. I should probably draw a line actually, just like a single red line to figure out where that midpoint is. Let's do that. I don't know what piece this is, but it sounds, the way it sounds, it makes me think of Bone Trussell and it just makes me laugh. I don't know why it makes me think of Bone Trussell. Maybe because I've just got the, like, just Undertale on the brain at all times. Which I won't lie, I'm not entirely opposed to. Undertale's still a good series, even if some people disagree, which is perfectly fine as well. It's a valid argument. I mean, granted, I never played it. I watched my brother play it, and he had a lot of fun with it. So I was like, cool, good to see you having fun with it. Okay, so now we should be able to just go like this, I think. Yes, perfect. So maybe like, yeah, we'll go something like this to start. And that should define a reasonable size pool. Because eventually this will straighten out to become a full thing. Which actually means we should probably redo this original oval. Because its width should be the exact same. Although you could arguably say it's going to go off on a gradient. So actually no, we don't need to. Oh, wrong thing. We need this tool again. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Just like checking to see how pedantic we can be about it. Yeah, I'm going to arguably say the decay on this is fine. Okay, yeah, that should be fine as a decay pool. And then we just need the last one, which would be about there. Okay, final one. There we go. Is this not perfectly centered? It feels like it's not. Oh wait, yeah, because I forgot. The ratio is going to be slightly off just because of how things are scaled, so that's going to be another consideration. I'm just thinking, how's the scaling going to work? I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll redraw this one and we'll just have them all based off what we know. So we'll draw the original scaling based off the top, and then we'll move them around to adjust to the bottom. Is what I'm thinking. This feels like I'm bastardizing a scientific process, but well, say la vie. I probably am, but you know, you can only be as precise as you wish to be. Okay, so with that, that's that one sorted. I'll put in some fills for now, and then we can adjust this in a moment. Actually, we should figure out now how much of a scaling we want to apply, because we're going to need to. Because in theory, I want this to expand out to here. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we might just scale this across, perhaps? There must be a way you can. Like maybe you just draw another, maybe we can just draw another like oval, perhaps, and then just base it off that particular scaling. Just need to match. Yeah, that could work. I think that can work, and then we can just clean up the top there. Just figuring out if there's a better way that we can just draw an interval. Maybe if I don't center it. Maybe I can just like draw it from here. Oh no, that doesn't work. Never mind. Okay, I need to use the centering tool. That's 100% what I'm needing to do. I hope everyone's having a nice night tonight. I know I'm certainly having quite a good time of it all at the moment. I mean, I say that while I am potentially getting judged by everyone around me, but, you know, say la vie. Let's move this one back. There we go. That should be enough of a gradient, I think. And now I'll just quickly go over this with an eraser, clean this off. Ooh, silky smooth. Sort of. Just need to get rid of these extra pixels. There we go. Ooh, that edge is a little off. I'm trying to see where that edge is meant to go. Actually, first what we'll do is we'll fill this in. And then that will give us a good idea of how to fix up the edge. Because yeah, I'm noticing that this is a bit like sharp. I'm wondering if there's a way we can clean that up a bit. Maybe we just make this just more straightened up like that. Because it does have straight sections there too. Or maybe just we do like a jagged edge there. I mean, look, we can't be perfect about this. Even though I will certainly try my best to, because let's be honest, I am like that. Maybe something like that? Oh, now it just feels too straight. Because yeah, I'm noticing like there's like those undulations. So maybe we go something like this. Now that just looks awkward. Hold on. Okay, new idea. Let's make another red. We'll do another oval, and this time we'll just trace it based off what we know it should be, based off this edge. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now we can just use that as a reference tool to clean this up. Perfect. Ingenuity at its finest, I think. I could be entirely wrong about ingenuity, really, with that. But what do I know? Ingenuity's not really been my strong suit. Strong nude, god damn it. Words failing me in every way tonight. Okay, perfect. Now let's clean this up. Sorry if I look like I'm... Sorry if I sound a bit distracted. I may or may not have a group report that's currently in the process of attempting to be submitted as well. So part of my attention is divided amongst that as well. But it's fine. Everything's perfectly fine. Oops. Except when I do that. Just go trace this out nice and easy. It was at this point that he became obsessed with stamping out the pixels that should not have been. But then again, you want to get this right the first try, so can you really blame me, in all honesty, for wanting this to be as clean as possible? It's weird. I've always kind of found the idea of like intricacies very cathartic. To, you know, go back over something you've gone through a million times before and just clean it up piece by piece. No speck left behind. But of course, not everyone thinks that way. So at the end of the day, I can see why most people would tend to just not worry about this sort of thing. But then again, when you are an engineer, it's like your brain is always kind of hardwired to think that anything you miss could potentially cause a big problem. Like, I mean, I remember when I was doing real-time instrumentation as a course, one of the things they talked about was like categorizations of like system failures. And of course it pretty much just boiled down to, well, there are cases where if say your instrumentation fails, it's not the biggest deal. We can roll with that. And I'm like, okay, good to know. And then they also went and said, oh yeah, and in the cases where it goes catastrophically wrong, that's where you need to figure out other things. I'm like, wait, what? You're telling me this right now? It was not exactly the politest thing they could have said at the time. But, you know, the lecturers can only be as like kind and as I don't want to say expectatory, but yeah, you can kind of say expectatory as they want to be. Okay, trying to think how I want to scale this, because I definitely think it needs to have like sharper angles to this point. Okay. Hello, Zeno. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to what is going to be a very interesting stream. Because it's just basically me being pedantic about design for God knows how long. What are we making here? We're making a new intermission panel. So I'll quickly show you. So this is the current design I have for the new intermission panel, because currently at the moment it's just my icon going crazy. But yeah, I've basically taken like a nice segment of the bar and you know, classic glass. Ooh. Yes, it's quite exciting. I've been working on this. I've worked on this for like 3 hours and came out with this design. I think it looks all right. Weirdly enough, the hardest part was that shadow for the sign. That was the hardest part of the entire build. I'm like, are you serious? But yeah, I think it looks quite nice. But I'm trying to add some animation to it because, you know, I don't like things to be still images. Like you've kind of noticed with all my stuff, like even with my starting panels and stuff, nothing's static. It's always dynamic. And so I'm trying to add that dynamic element to it. So the first dynamic change is I'm trying to basically make it so that these pools disappear and then split into two. And so I'm just trying to get the lighting dynamics figured out, essentially. So as soon as I can figure... Oh, wait, there's this thing for right-click erase? I would have liked that. Confusion. Look, it's understandable. It's understandable that you might be a bit confused because it is a lot of like just me obsessing about art. But, you know, for me, this was fun. This was like legit. I only learned this skill because I wanted to, because of the fact that I wanted to make my assets on my own. And so that was the reason I learned how to do all this. Simply because I was that headstrong and determined to make everything by myself. Now, was it potentially a mistake? Hard to say. All I can say was that it was a choice, and I had to live with that choice, essentially. I should really consider that I should be trying to match this outline. Okay, I'm just going to go with filling this in by going around the outline. Oh, oops, my bad. B. Yeah. Yeah, no. But I mean, I'm still having fun with it. Like I said, I'm not great at art, but I try. I try my best. Like I think I did well with my avatar and all that. Brain no work. I mean, that's fair enough. It's what, like midday for y'all, and I think you're normally having lunch around this time, if I'm not mistaken, so completely understandable. It's not exactly something that seems like a heavy priority. But, you know, we'll see. It'd be funny, actually, if Mobro comes in, he'll be like, ooh, art time. I'm like, yes, indeed. You get to see my process and how I'm terrible at it. It's 1:27 p.m. Oh, so past lunch. I always keep thinking that you turn up on lunch break, and then I'm like, have I just forgotten how time works? Because, yeah. That might mean my math was also off when I did that, when we were discussing timings, because I thought you were 9 hours behind, not 8. So maybe I'm just completely off. Okay. At least the dynamics of this lighting pool should work in the end. And then from here, the job becomes easier because it just comes down to colorations. Oh. It's always the worst when you're like your hand jitters right as you're about to paint, and it's like, well, now I've got to undo and redo all this nonsense again. Wasn't it 6 hours? No. Remember, you remember I like looked it up and was like, because you said like 3 to 7 p.m. as a time frame, and I looked it up and it was the equivalent of like 12 to 4 a.m. for me. Like I can, if you want, I can look it up. Like let me see. AEST to MEZ. Let's see. We can answer this right now. Oh yeah. Here, let's just double check it just to be safe. Okay, yeah, so it's 9 hours. What is making that noise? Oh. Oh, well, thank you, Doc. Very kind of you. Also, how are you doing? Aw. I was wondering where that baby cry was coming from. I'm like, oh god, did someone just like chuck on a YouTube video or something without me knowing? But yeah, how are you doing, Doc? Didn't hear it on stream. Oh. Maybe I missed it. That's weird. I'm pretty certain my sound alert. Wait. Oh, it's because I didn't have desktop audio on. I forgot sound alerts runs through that. My bad. My bad, Doc. Here.
It's a baby with a gun. Over. What? It's a baby
with a gun. Over. Yep, okay, so it was tied to desktop audio. Also, thank you for that one, Zeno. That's actually one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite Tom Scar sketches, actually. Okay, so that's looking reasonably good. Just got to clean up the edges a bit. We can get one dot in. There we go. Perfect. That's looking a bit more like how I expected it to be. Okay, so that's that. Now we just need one more. We need one more pool. And then we should be, and then that should be perfect.
You saved me. Why?
Monkey.
I love that. I love stupid things like that. Just a monkey makes me think of what is it? Isn't it the Super Mario Brothers movie where like what is it? It's what's his name? I can't remember the name of the actor. Oh no, not Dennis Rodman. Dennis something. But he's just like he's like testing that de-evolution rate, and he just points at the chimpanzee and he just goes monkey. Makes me think of that. Monkey. Yes, it is glorious.
Well, you got me. By all
accounts, it doesn't make sense. We're going to just be going down memory lane with all these sound alerts. Just all the funny quotes from our favorite childhood movies and TV shows. Which I'm not going to lie, are all fantastic. Like, I would genuinely say I think my chat has some of the best best film taste when it comes to this sort of thing, and I am so happy for that.
My sandwich. It was innocent.
Yes. It was innocent. I don't know why, even though it's like such a simple moment, it's still such a funny joke. Like, I don't know if it beats the what's it called? The no need to wonder where your God is monologue, or the I really hate people one, but it comes close. It comes very close. Yes. That should be something also I should work on stream at some point with you guys is getting some new emotes sorted, because we do have 2 more slots for tier 1, so I may as well try and fill out those last 2 slots. And then once we get follower emotes, oh boy, that's when we get cooking. That's when we get cooking with gas. Okay, I need placeholder color for a second so I can judge this. Okay, so how much extra excess am I going to need to add? I really should have picked a better color for that. We need something that actually clashes. Let's get that red again. I must say, for a jazz playlist, Pretzel Rock really seems to think that like all jazz is just defined by like almost late night talk show music. It's a little odd. Okay, let's get that nice and rounded to about here. I think that should be good. Yeah, round it to there. What is that? Oh, it's just a Doritos chip. Is that a standard emote? Because if so, that is so funny, and I've never realized it's in there. But yes, the true acknowledgement of the cockroach cult. God, that also reminds me of something I was thinking about, just speaking of cockroach cult, because this thought had crossed my mind recently, and I was like, should I just go ahead and do this? What is that? Copy this past of that. Okay, that's clever. I like that. I really like that. God. Twitch really knew what they were doing when they added emotes. They were just like, we know what people want. They want to do stupid things with images, and we're like, yes, thank you. Now do it. Dance monkey, let us savor this. Okay, cleaning this up. There we go. That should nicely round us out.
Puppy! Oh, careful, honey.
Here's a knife.
What?
No, I don't. I didn't realize that one was on blurb. Well, thank you for pointing that out, Doc. Oh, man. What a wonderful joke. What a wonderful thing as the movie was. Could you imagine how insane it would be if, like, that never got made? Like, genuinely, how much do you think, like, things would have changed if As the movie never ended up actually being made? Like, internet humor would have been so weird to, like, look back on. That was almost all the As movie sounds. Then I must have been not looking hard enough. I definitely need to rectify that in the future. And I'll get one dart in there. All right. Oh, can I actually round off that light pool just a bit more? Okay, perfect. That looks reasonable. I think that works. It's not perfect by any means, but I think it's rounded off nicely enough. Maybe we'll like cut this back just a tad. Yeah, okay, that looks better. There we go. We've got the light pool figured out. I love all the emotes, fam. So beautiful. All right, perfect. So we now have this figured out, which means we can get rid of this central line. Actually, we might need that central line in a second, so never mind. Let's just draw a line from A to B, assuming I can actually get my cursor on it. Okay. Perfect. The pedantics of trying to just get even a simple thing like light physics to look neat is such a... it feels like a fine science. And I had to study light physics, and even now I'm struggling to get it perfect. Okay, we can do a little trick here. Have you seen Scuffwood on Twitter? Their retro low poly models are amazing. No, I haven't seen Scuffwood. But now you have me intrigued. Let me have a look, Doc. Scuffwood. Scuffwood. Oh, wow. He definitely has interesting designs. Very 3D. Kind of reminds me of like Jackbox graphics. If I start VTubing, I want one of those models. I mean, yeah, those are really good. It's weird. They look like a mixture of like the Jackbox graphics combined with if anyone remembers that movie Robots, it kind of reminds me of that graphical style. But yeah, no, that would be a good guy to go to like get your first model. Because yeah, they are very retro, and I do respect that. Like, people who are able to do retro stuff and do it like to a high quality are fantastic. Can I mirror this actually? Please tell me I can. Mirror, and oh god, if I can't mirror this is going to be absolute hell. Please. There should be a rotate tool maybe. Flip horizontal. Nope. Flip vertical. There we go. There we go. I was panicking for a second, being like, I was pretty certain I could do this. If not, this is going to be a pain. Okay, line this up. And slightly out. Oh god. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Clean. Now let's get rid of this line. Slightly bigger pixel size, thank you. But yes, perfect. So that's now our pools of light figured out. So that should be like the end point at which this graphic should reach, in theory. So now let's just get rid of these lines, get them sorted into something simple. And then we should be fine. Oh, that might not have been the best way to do that. It's probably easier actually to cut these off first. And then I can fill them in. Yeah, that'll work better. Because then I don't have to like retrace that line just to do it again. Color picker. Cut this off again. Where is it? Sorry if the commentary is not great, because I'm like, I don't know why. I didn't think that it was going to take 1,000,000% of my concentration to do this, but weirdly enough, it is. Like, I would have thought it's very easy to ramble over simple things like just making something, but well, it shows how much I know. I may know a lot, considering I am somehow smart enough to be considering going further in my career with a PhD, but apparently not when it comes to the creatives. Which is fair enough. Not everyone can be perfect at everything, and that's the beauty of it. Alright, we need some colors. Let's get these pools sorted. 1, 2. Get that. These are going to look really nice, I think, once they're completely filled. What do I need? Okay, I need one more, which is the dark. Oh, no. Oops. That's the bucket, not the color picker. Bit of a difference. Okay. Now let's turn that off for half a second. Don't need that layer anymore. Let's quickly just fill this countertop to be completely green, and then I think that light will be sorted. I can also merge layers, which I think will be important in a second. Okay, so sorry, I'm like trying not to mess this up because I don't have to go through a million layers of like undo hell later down the track. Okay, there we go. And now let's see. Merge down. There we go. That actually doesn't look too bad. Granted, we may need to fill this area just a bit. I'm going to go now, though. I got to eat something and finish my work, etc. I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Well, thank you for that, Zeno. I do appreciate you popping in, even if it is just for a little bit. But yeah, you have a good rest of your day. Hope your work shift goes well. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you around. All right. Let's see how that looks with all the layers added again. That actually kind of looks nice because look at where the pools kind of cut off. They perfectly meet the edges of the two primary objects. That actually works out very well for us. It works out beautifully for us. All right. Perfect. So we have our start frame, we have our end frame. Now we just need to transition them. Although we should probably also add, what's it called? We do actually need to add, what is it? The round offs over here, because there is still a section of which I need to remove the cocktail glass for a second so I can see. But we do need to add like the rounded edges where this meets. Hello, Strawberry Lockery, and how are you doing? How are you doing tonight? Welcome to what is arguably a really scuffed art stream. In essence. Okay, I shouldn't have done this in this color. I genuinely can't see what the line looks like. So let's just do it in purple for now. So I can see. So I can see clearly now. Except I can't really at all. God dang it. Ugh. Get that corner. There we go. Okay, so let's see. We can round it off about here. Yeah, I should do. But yes, how are you doing tonight, Strawberry Locrian? Hope you're having a wonderful evening, or day, or wherever you are, because so many time zones and so many where I'm like, I don't actually know words. I'm sick but doing alright. How about you? Pixel art is hard. I'm doing quite well. It's been a bit of a crazy day. What with me having to basically get the very last assessment of my term done with my group, and coordinating that has been a bit tricky. But it's still been, overall it's been pretty good. But yes, I do agree with you. Pixel art is hard, but I feel like it's also at the same time quite rewarding because I mean, at least for me, I'm someone who has a very analytical mindset, and so I'm prepared to like take all these little extra steps where most people would probably be like, this is just pedantic. And I'm like, well, clearly you don't know me well enough. I will be this pedantic over a few dots. But I do agree it's hard. And I feel like with me, I feel like the more I practice pixel art, the more I will get better. Like, I think I've definitely gotten better with this because I would not have been able to pull off an image like this like a year ago. I'm someone who has always drawn things by hand. I've never been great at depth. Like, best I can do is like isometric drawing of like simple shapes. So for me to be able to kind of do a piece like this and give it that right amount of depth, I think I'm doing pretty well for myself as an amateur. Art is a skill, so as long as you keep at it, you'll keep getting better. That is what I've heard from a lot of people. Like, I think, like, if Mobro was here, he'd be saying the exact same thing. He'd just be like, you're getting there. Just keep going at it, you'll make it. I'm like, well, thank you. I do appreciate that. It honestly makes me wish I had pursued, like, visual arts a little bit more at school, but at the same time, there wasn't much I could really do about that sort of thing. But yeah, I do love, like, I've always loved visual arts, and I wish I had taken it more seriously back in high school, because I was okay. Like, I wasn't, like, perfect, but you're making up for it now. Exactly. That is a good way to look at it, Strawberry. You don't mind if I call you Strawberry, just to, like, make it easier. But yeah, no, I guess you could say, yeah, it is definitely me making up for the time I didn't use in art school, or use in high school on art. But Strawberry is fine. Okay, just thought I'd check, because, you know, I know people are very like to be quite specific about what they prefer to be referred by, and I don't want to, you know, make assumptions on anyone's behalf. Come on, we're almost there. Come on. Come on. We're almost there. I'm going to get this. There we go. Oh, ever loving. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Perfect. Now we can just fill these in, and I think then that final image should look wonderful. Yes. Okay, that actually looks clean. Actually looks super clean. Let's add the last pieces. Look at that. Look at that light. Those light dynamics actually look all right this time. All right. So now that's sorted. Now comes the part it's going to be a little bit trickier, which is doing the transition between. Because what I'm thinking is, usually the simplest transitions are to do like a fade in followed by a fade out. Or in this case, fade out followed by fade in. So I think that might be the way to approach it. I'm just wondering how much of a fade we need to give. I like that you use bold colors. I don't use them very often. It really adds some vibrancy to the piece. Well, firstly, thank you for that. I do appreciate that compliment. But also, the reason why I like using bold colors is, well, mainly because of my aesthetic, because, you know, I'm working with stuff that's all like neon tubing and very bright lighting, so I have to use bold colors. But also, I've always been someone who's not very good with like subtle colors. I've always been someone who's better with like bright and bold things. And so I guess it's always like my comfort to use colors that are very in your face, but can be almost melded. Well, it definitely works with the whole neon thing. Indeed, because originally this like actual countertop is meant to mesh with my like just chatting panel, which has this glowing countertop on it. Like if I get an image up for a second, I can quickly load it in. But if I were to I'll quickly like load in what my current just chatting thing looks like. Where is it? New. Open. Give me a sec while I quickly get it up. Where is it? Chatting overlay. There it is. Yeah, because as you can see in this is my current bar setup, and this is the countertop that I use for it. So this is kind of meant to be almost like a zoom in on the countertop as like part of the intermission screen. So that's kind of what I'm trying to go for with this whole thing. And I think I've done a good job of like portraying the depth well. Ooh, I love the silhouettes. Well, thank you. I loved doing the silhouettes, especially because like originally I just had these in like super bright colors while I was like getting them back in the background. But so I actually went and like carefully did a great job. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I actually like went and looked up like designs of like bottles to kind of mimic them along the back row. I looked at like actual pictures of countertops to kind of perfectly assess what the right height is. these two you can't really see, but it's meant to be like a cash register and the taps, and then of course the bar stools across the front, and yeah, this one's actually got a lot of animation to it. Like you can see, there's a lot of frames, but I think it looks quite clean. Like if we go through the preview, it's got that nice, perfect amount of like flash and pulse to it, which is currently set up on it's currently set up on a 1 hertz cycle that goes through 4 different iterations. I'm hoping to expand that further by like adding different colors and stuff like that in the future, but again, that's going to take time. But for now, I'm happy with how it looks, so I'm working on the other pieces where I feel like I've, been a bit lackluster in terms of my art. So this is the first bit, which is the intermission screen. Using references, it took me way too long to start using them. You're making me want to try learning animation again. I mean, look, that's fair. It took me so long to work on like animation in pixel art, because originally when I started doing pixel art, I originally did it for game design, because I wanted to do some game development on my own and figure that out, because I had skills as a musician, or in composition. I had skills as a programmer thanks to my degree. It was just the art that like held me back. So I spent a lot of time looking at ways that at like methods of pixel art animation, mainly influenced by 11-bit, which makes Children of Mortar, which is a roguelike that I love to hell and back. Mainly because it feels like you get more pulled into the story rather than Signo. I'm the same, except I know art and music, not programming. Dude, that's awesome though. Like, knowing art is like, knowing 2 of the 3 is a pretty good skill set nonetheless. Because I mean, music is hard in its own way, art is hard in its own way, programming, oh god, too many bad memories of that. But still fun. And even with programming, you can have a lot of fun. Like, I mean, you see those people on YouTube who do like all the the programming things where they make like AIs to do weird mundane tasks, like Code Bullet, who I think I mentioned last time. There's a reason it usually takes a team. Oh, 100%. Like, when I did game development back in university, the first team I was ever part of. It was a team of oh, apologies, didn't expect that sneeze. I worked with a team of 10 people. We had, and from what I remember, it comprised of 3 level designers, 3 programmers, 3 artists, and then myself as the lone composer. And that was a fun time. The project at the time was called Shadow Walker, and it was meant to be kind of like Limbo-esque in terms of its gameplay and its style. And there was going to be like a lot of worlds. I wrote a lot of like nice soundtracks to it, but unfortunately, our lead game director at the time graduated like before the project completed, so we had to almost remake it from scratch again, and we cut it back to a smaller scope because we went way too lofty with it. And then past that, and then unfortunately it folded again, which is a shame because both times I finished the soundtracks for both of them, and it just never went anywhere. And I was so mad. I was like, I spent all this time. I made like these beautiful like 12-track soundtracks, and they just never got used for anything. Although later in life I did end up releasing them. People underestimate how much effort goes into composition, especially making soundtracks for games. Oh, 100%. Like that's the thing about it. Composition is about how subtle or as how blatant as you want to be with like certain layers and figuring out that right balance between them. Like, I remember the first lesson that I ever got taught about doing more modern composition, because originally I started with classical composition, so more like, writing for piano, violin, all that sort of thing. When I wanted to move into more modern stuff, like rock in particular, because I was really into rock. I still am. I'm very much into like rock and pop punk. But one of the things that he pointed out when with working with the program that I was using, because I originally started with Sibelius and then moved into Logic Pro, he was like, okay, first thing you have to understand about modern music is there is a lot of layers that goes into it. I'm like, how many? And he just says to me, okay, what's your favorite song? So I gave him My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark by Fall Out Boy. And so he played it for me, and he played me all the way up to the end of the first chorus, and he said, okay, how many layers did you hear? And I said, I said 4 maybe. And he said, in the verse, you could probably guess there's 4. In the chorus, more likely 10. And I went, what? I'm like, excuse me. He's like, yeah, listen to it again. And he's like, and then I listened to it and I could hear those extra layers on top of each other. I'm like, oh, this is more complex than I thought. I've used Sibelius and Logic Pro too. I missed them. Yeah, I haven't used Sibelius in a long time. I use Logic Pro every now and then, but again, just because of like time commitments for university and stuff, I haven't written a piece in a long time. And sadly, lockdown stole a lot of my motivation to work on pieces. Like, I think the last piece I wrote in Logic Pro was 2 years ago. Well, yeah, it was 2 years ago, and that was at the end of March was when I finished it. And I haven't written anything since, unfortunately. I do want to try and get back into it, but the problem is it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to find motivation when your original motivation was always just creation for the sake of creation. And then it's like, once you get to a certain point, it just doesn't feel the same. I haven't written anything in about as long. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's just the problem of like, you have to have the right like burst of inspiration to start the process, and then you have to maintain that momentum, and that can always be a challenge. Okay, my first thought is, let's try and do a cascading pattern. So let's take a sample, take a pick of this, take a pick of that, and then we'll just slowly, oh god, wrong layer. We need to go countertop, that's it. But yeah, no, that is always the challenge. You have to find the right like level of motivation to keep going with what you're doing. And you can't let it rob you of the joy that you have. Oh, oops, did not mean to do that. I need to color this. Oh, actually, how well did I think this through? Not well at all, actually. Shoot. Okay, I have an idea. Do that. Then, wait, no, that's what we wanted to do. All right, then just double check we grab the right thing. I need to grab this color. Then boom and boom. Okay, that's definitely a good intermediate stage. But I don't think it's the final one. We need this to fade slightly first. Yeah, because this is way too much of a leap. So I think what we'll do is we'll have the white fade first, and then it will all just collapse in on each other. So let's copy this frame, and we'll sample this light, and we'll make it dimmer. Actually, what I should do is I'll sample this, and then I can. There we go. That's looking more like what I want to do. So now if I do this, how's that look? Actually, it doesn't look too bad as an intermediate. 1, 2. then copy one more time, and then I think we can go a little bit darker with it. So 1, 2, 3, and at this point it can go into the fade proper. Yeah, that should work. Unrelated, but the neon remind me of a homebrew subclass for D&D called the Laser Sorcerer. They're pretty much powered by the 80s. Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that idea. Can you actually link that to me? I want to take a look. Like, if it's on D&D Beyond in their like homebrew collection, link that to me. I want to see it. Cause God, I love doing like homebrew subclass stuff like that. Like, I drew one years ago. Oh, nice. I could imagine how cool a laser sorcerer would be. Because I mean, there are a few instances of like laser style effects in D&D, but taking it to like the next step is where things become really fun. I was like half looking at things for a second and being like, did I lose the edge of the border? And I'm like, nope, I didn't. But yeah, no, I'd love to see like that kind of setup. Because yeah, I love doing like homebrew stuff like that. Like, I've made homebrew subclasses. They've mainly been for the religious classes though. I don't think it's on D&D Beyond. I can give you the PDF though. Where's the best place to send it to you? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe just send it to me on Twitter. Just send it through Twitter DMs and I can take a look at it. That's probably the easiest way to send PDFs. Either that or I can just send you like a whisper with my email and you can just send it through to me there. But yeah, because I'm trying to remember what was the last like big like homebrew subclass thing I tried to make. I think it was the Oath of Charity for the Paladin, which is a very interesting idea. Alternatively, I can get Tiny Meerkat to give it to you. Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe get Meerkat to send it to me. Because she's got me on Discord. So maybe, yeah, either get Meerkat to send it to me, or you can just send it to me through Twitter DMs. Either one works. But yeah, because yeah, the last subclass I worked on was the shall do perfect. Yeah, last subclass I worked on was the Oath of Charity for the Paladin, and that design was meant to be one where essentially you gave of yourself to help others, and its main focus was on the healing hands that Paladin has. And so I think from memory, a couple of the abilities it had was like, one, your pool of healing scaled better than it did in based off like the standard Paladin setup where it's like 5 times your level. So I think it scaled slightly better. And then on top of that, it allowed you to cast your healing hands at a range and give it like different effects. And just other kind of things like that where you would give of yourself. Like I even think I wanted to add like a feature where you could essentially take damage to protect others and stuff like that. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, it's a fun idea. But again, it's like figuring out the balance of it is the hardest part. Thankfully, I have a friend who knows the whole D&D thing like completely in and out, and they are very skilled at what they do. So he's usually the one I bounce things off of balancing. Like he helped me balance my implementation of the Maokai from this Savage song when I made them into a homebrew race. And I think the balancing of it actually worked out really, really well. Because I did play it. And it was fun. Though it was hard because it was a fiend type. So paladins and clerics immediately were hunting me down. Which is fair. Because their origin was from the abyss. It was a bit of a ballsy move, I will admit that. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. Okay, let's copy this frame. So now we need to, I think we can probably just grab this color, grab this color, and then we can just fill it in like so. 1, 2, and 3. I think that's going to be a good transition. And then of course the final frame will be just all green. Sure. I love TTRPGs. I'm trying to learn how to run Call of Cthulhu at the moment. I collect them. Yeah, same here. I haven't done any Call of Cthulhu, but I have wanted to play it because I know it's like really, I love Lovecraftian horror, so I've always been interested in learning Call of Cthulhu, but just haven't had the time. But yeah, like the systems I have learned slightly is, well, D&D 5e, because that's what that was my gateway into TTRPGs. Then I learned Fate Core, Numenera, and most recently I picked up Avatar Legends, which is what is it called? Which is a TTRPG that was kickstarted recently. And that one's actually not bad. It's very Fate Core-esque, which I think is fun. I wanted to get that. Did you not back it, Strawberry? Because yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think what is it? The Discami. Wait, was it Magpie Games who did it or Discami? I can't remember which one. But I know they have it on their site. Oh, you missed out. Okay, that makes sense. I believe they are like soon to be releasing it on their official site for purchase. And yeah, you should be able to get it all from there. Because I know I had the same thing where I missed out on, what was it? I think it was Anime 5e, which I wanted to get as well, but at the time it was like I had to pick one or the other, and I'm like, I'm more of a Last Airbender fan, so I'm going to go with this one. But there was definitely one but the other one, the Anime 5e, was one I definitely wanted to chase up on. I'm just trying to think. I think it is, no, it's Magpie Games that do Avatar Legends. But yeah, I will keep an eye on my emails because they do send me like weekly updates. I'll let you know when it's on their site. There's just so many I need. Yeah, well, that's the thing with TTRPGs. It's a rabbit hole that never ends. But at some point you have to realize there's a limit. Not that anyone cares to admit it. I'm going to grab this and fill these two in. Did I finish? Did I remember? Okay, good. I did remove those. I'm like trying to remember what I've removed and what I haven't yet, because yeah, okay, good. So I did get that transition right, at least. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I need to grab this color, do another cappy, and then fill these in. The limit is how many will fit in my giant bookcase. Oh, if you're collecting physicals, then yes, that will definitely be an issue. It's funny, I don't collect TTRPGs physically. I collect it all digitally. What I do have as a physical collection, though, is a ton of like spiritualism and magic books that I have sitting in a cupboard, literally about 5 steps away. And it's a pretty big collection at this point. Like, I've collected all sorts of things. I've got stuff on astrology. I've got stuff on... If you like Lovecraft, you should look into Tales from the Loop. Tales from the Loop, okay. Sounds interesting. It's weird. I hear Tales of the Loop and it makes me think of, what's it called? Loop Hero. That game that Devolver Digital put out. Or, yeah, that they published. It makes me think of that, like, Tales from the Loop.
The lone wanderer goes off into the distance, the abyss in front of him, just a one cobble road leading his way. And now he's returned again. It was only 10 minutes. I don't know how on earth he came from that way. How did he end up over there?
But yeah, God, I remember playing Loop Hero. Loop Hero is so fun. But yeah, I'll definitely check out Tales from the Loop. Loop Hero was actually a really fun game. I should get back to playing it because I never finished it. I got to like the third the third level or chapter, so to speak, and it was just so brutal. I just got wrecked every time. I'm like, I don't like this, but I'm trying to win. And it's like, nope, you will win when we tell you to win. I'm like, damn it, why must you do this to me? I haven't looked into it yet. And fair enough. Well, to be fair, with how much there is, it's hard to look into absolutely everything. Wait, is that in relation to Loop Hero or Tales from the Loop? Because if you're looking into Loop Hero, Loop Hero that is. Okay. Yeah, Loop Hero is fun. It's essentially an episodic roguelike where you are where you're basically an adventurer who is trying to rebuild the world after it basically disappeared and everyone forgot about the world. And it's you basically trying to piece together the mystery whilst fighting your way through like hordes of monsters and slowly building the world as you go through the levels. And the more you play, the more different types of tiles you unlock, and the more tiles you put down, the closer you get to like the end chapter boss, essentially. It's really clever actually, and it's very addicting. But it is hard. It is very, very hard. And I remember for the longest time just thinking, oh, I've got to beat this somehow, and I will find a way come hell or high water. Because it is a fun game. Like, don't get me wrong. As much as I am currently like, I don't want to say bitching about it, but I am. It is really fun, but it is challenging, and does have like quite interesting storylines, especially because the more you fight enemies, the more you get stories based on how many times you beat them, especially for the end game bosses. Because there's like the first guy who's a lich, then the next boss is like a priest or a priest or a cleric, and looking into their stories when you beat them for like the next time, it's very interesting to see what new details you glean from what they say. Okay, I need just this and this. Sorry, I'm just figuring out the last frame, and then I'm gonna try and figure out timings. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. But yeah, I definitely could recommend Loop Hero if you're a fan of roguelikes. The other one I will also mention because it was a game that weirdly got recommended to me after playing a lot of Loop Hero, and this is kind of funny because this is a game I did previously stream before I started archiving stuff, but it was a game called Loop Odyssey initially. If you look it up nowadays, it's actually called Stuck in Time, because I think they may have been not copyrighted, but like I think they ran into a bit of legal trouble and like DMCA issues with the name, so they had to change it to Stuck in Time. But it is but don't go into it thinking it's like a sequel or a prequel to Loop Hero. It has very different mechanics. It's all very programmatically based, but still fun. Unfortunately, I don't think I will ever stream it again because it's one of those games where like you just kind of sit there and wait for the loop to go over and over so you gain enough familiarity to optimize things. I should check them out. Go for it, Strawberry. They're both good games in their own right. I think it's just, but it is definitely, I do think they are kind of an acquired taste depending on what kind of gameplay you look for. But I enjoy them. I mean, especially like Stuck in Time, because like back when I used to play a lot of Flash games, one of the ones I still remember to this day that was like my absolute favorite was this little game called Lightbot, which was a programmatic game where you had to basically move this. Okay, sorry about that, folks. My microphone cut out randomly because, as it turns out, the cable was just a little bit too loose, which is a bit of a shame. I might need to look into that, but hopefully my audio is fine now. I'm just checking levels. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good on audio. But yeah. But yeah, no, definitely worth checking out. I do think they're a bit of an acquired taste, but again, it depends on what you look for in gameplay. But because I grew up with playing Lightbot, it was definitely much more of a comfort game for me. Okay, I'm going to set some preliminary timings just to test how this transition looks. So we'll set these two to be the longest times. Okay, so let's take a look at the preview and see how this looks. It kind of works. It definitely needs to be quick though. Like 50 milliseconds is just too long. Let's set these to like 25. And yeah, this needs to be... I think this one we can afford to set to 50, and then these can all be 25. So if we now think of that, this is a timing. How long is this? So it's 50... So, okay, so the entire transition is 250 milliseconds. So let's run three... let's just do 300 and 300 for now. Just so we have a decent window. Actually 500. Let's just see if this transition looks good at this animation speed. Now I'm wondering if that's too fast. What do you think, Strawberry? Do you think that transition's a bit too fast at the 25 milliseconds? Because in my mind, it looks like it's transitioning a bit too fast, but I don't know. Granted, we still have to implement it in the opposite direction to check. So let's actually do that quickly. Okay, drag this one over. I'm just going to quickly copy the frames. I think it's just a tad too fast. Yeah, okay, so it is what I'm thinking. Okay, let's try these at 50. Let's try these at 50. We'll put this middle one at 75, and we'll just see how that looks. Because again, these are like the only intervals I can work with in the moment. So let's see how this looks. Okay, that's actually not too bad, the 50. Yeah, we can work with that. We can work with that. I think that's going to... Okay, I think that should be fine. Okay, so we've got this middle one. So now we just need... We need this one copied. That feels better? Yeah, okay, so the light transitions 50. So 50 seems to be the perfect frame rate for any of these effects, is what I'm gathering. Which is fair, because I think what in this one, did I also have this set at 50? Yes, I did. So yeah, 50 is definitely the working frame rate to work with. I'm just going to quickly close that now that we're not testing that anymore. Okay, just checking that I have all the pools. I need this copy. God, this is a long set of animations, but it's going to be worth it. I wish I could copy multiple frames at once. Actually, that's a good question. Can I select multiple frames? No, I can't. Okay, guess I'm doing it the long way. Can you not do that to me, though? I do also need to copy this one, too. It's weird having to look at timings and figure out how everything connects. But it's important. Just kind of sucks I can't do a multi-frame or even a retrograde style thing. That'd be cool if I could, but I guess I can't. It's fine though. I don't mind doing it manually because at least then I can double check my process each time and make sure it's all to my specifications. All right. Hello, Good morning, Steph. How are you doing? Well, welcome. You're just in time to see the finished animation for my new intermission screen. So come take a seat. Also, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Yes, let's have a look at this now. That is smooth. That is super smooth. Look at that. Can't wait to see it. Well, no need to wait anymore. It's right here now. Look how smooth that is. Oh my lord, that actually is silky smooth. Let's actually put like a longer break in. Like, let's put this to 1000 milliseconds and take a look at that again. Boom. And boom. Oh, that's so good. I'm overall okay. What about you? I am doing quite nicely and feeling quite happy now because it's been a long day and only now have I just managed to get my final group project submitted. So now I am actually on break. So I'm doing quite well. Perfect. Hell yes, Strawberry's happy. Looks so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thankfully, this hasn't been like drawn from scratch since the start of the stream. But yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice now. So we have that animation figured out. I'm probably... here's the problem. I want to add like another variation of animation, but the problem is I don't know how complicated it's going to be. So what kind of drink would you put in that martini glass? Honestly, a good question, because as someone who tends to drink a little bit, I'm not someone who normally ends up having drinks that use a martini glass. Because I don't know, I've never been a martini person. My usual go-to for like spirits is like a good like rum or bourbon or whiskey. So like there's a whiskey bar I go to that's really nice, and most of the time they'll give me like the standard glass tumblers. But yeah, I don't know what drink I'd put in that martini glass. I'd have to probably look and see what you normally put in there. But I'd guess probably just a standard vodka martini. God damn it! Now I'm just thinking of a really funny James Bond joke I remember from a British TV show that was that's just one vodka martini, shaken not stirred, and 4 Jaeger bombs. it's such a stupid joke, but it's so funny to me. But yeah, I don't know what actually is in there. Lol. Yeah, it's a great joke. Like, especially because the Brits know how to take the absolute piss out of James Bond, and I'm like, perfect. Even though nowadays I feel that, what is it? What's his name? Craig. I can't remember his actual name, but the guy who played James Bond in No Time to Die, like he was perfect at taking the piss out of it because he has like such amazing stories. Like how he would kiss the director at the end of every scene they shot, and so the director would sometimes rush through just to get to the kiss, and I'm like, huh? What? Excuse me? It's just so bizarre, but I can't help but laugh at it. Okay, so I'm going to add some longer pauses because I want this to be a loop that kind of is a bit more unexpected. So what I think I'll do is I'll chain like basically a bunch of like these single frames together just to give it a long span. Because I want this to be the kind of thing where it's like, you know, it's not changing too often that it feels boring. So what I'm thinking is, because this is about 5 seconds, I could probably set it reasonably on a... Ooh. Okay, it's a hard pick. Do I put this on a 30-second loop, or do I put this on a 20-second loop? Because at the moment, let's have a look at this. Like, say this is the intermission screen now. We wait 5 seconds. Then this transitions here, hangs there for 5 seconds, and then transitions back. Like, that's not too bad of a timing, but I'm wondering if I should make it longer just because if you do a transition too many times, it gets very boring very quickly. So I'm wondering if I put like a very long gap. 30 seconds, you think? Okay. Yeah, I'm down to go 30 seconds. I'm gonna actually move this final frame back over here so I can just stack them all in one spot. Yeah, so let's like duplicate this a few times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 30 seconds. And let's go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, so that should be good. So now every 30 seconds, it will do either the transition from the one pool to the two pools or vice versa. So let's take a look at the preview and take a look at that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to count it out forever. But yeah, I think because this is still an appealing image, and then it will just have that nice little transition just randomly that makes it feel a bit more alive. And I think that will be like a nice touch. Like, should be coming right about. Oh god, now it's actually hard to predict when it's coming. You have to just wait. Come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. See? Yeah, I think it'll be nice. The only problem is I wish there was a way you could like overlay certain like animations, like have it that this could place in one spot and then I make like a second animation over the top that's like a shadow. Because I really would like it. I'd like to make one that's just like the silhouette of a person moving across. I guess the way you would do that is you'd probably keep this as a base animation and then you'd make another one where it's like a transparent background and then you'd make the silhouette moving across. But that might be something we explore another time. But yeah, I think that turned out quite nicely. I think we've got a good intermission screen to work off of. So I guess now the only question is, do we want to try and make the silhouette one? Do we want to make the silhouette one on our own now, or do we want to maybe go to something a little bit different? Because I did have another idea, which was to work on like basically an offline screen that was going to be like the shop front of the bar, which is a bit more abstract. Like I haven't exactly planned it out, but yeah. Let's see, if I'm trying to now think, like I'll get a new one up just in case we do, because it would have to be the same dimensions as this, which I think it's proper 700 by 400. Yeah, it is. So if we give it if we give it a color palette like this, I think we can do it reasonably. Set to a width of 400, height of 400, width of 700, sorry, because that's what this one is. Yeah. New drawing. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so what do we want to do? If we were to do this transparent animation, how would we go about it? I mean, obviously we'd leave the background transparent. So we now just need a... Did I not name this layer? Oh well. We know what it is. And you know what? I'm pedantic. I'll name this bar counter top. I don't know if that actually hangs between all the layers or not. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it did. Oh, with not all of them. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. That's just pedantics. Okay, so how would we go about doing a silhouette across the front? Because here's the thing. This is a quite close-up shot. Like, if I look here, like, that's meant to be the metal edge of where the bar is. So from this angle, would you even have a silhouette across the front? You could have someone sitting down in front of it. Or you could... problem is also, you wouldn't have like a shadow being cast over this, because this is a light source. So you're less likely to have something project a shadow against it. If anything, the shadow is going to go back the other way. Oh, it's so hard to pick. I think unless there's something else that can be done, like maybe something caused like a disturbance and everything shakes. That might be something I workshop later down the track, because I genuinely don't know what I do with this past that point. I guess in the meantime, we'll add like the transition I wanted to do with the chatting overlay, because I wanted to add a similar thing to this so that it wasn't just exclusive to this particular thing. Where is it? New drawing. Let's get that overlay back. Okay, so here's the thing that's going to make this a bit more complicated to implement it in this one. One is this actual like glow here is very small to begin with, and also the fact that we're working off of what is it, like light displays that are already moving to begin with. Because if I remember correctly, yeah, each of these are moving off 500 seconds. So if we like go to the preview, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so so they're transitioning every 500 milliseconds, and we need to add that glow effect across all of these. I'm wondering if we potentially make it slightly faster in this case. I would love to be at that bar. Thank you, Steph. That's very kind of you. I do think that this is a nice pleasant aesthetic to work with, because I love bars that do like clever things with lighting and like the way they present the mood. Because to me that's something quite special. Like I like bars that have the heart to do these like nice little touches. Okay, so let's think for a second. What if we made it that this went from 1 pull to 2 pulls across the 2-second interval and then fades back again? Like that could work. Ugh. It really does make me wonder if there's like a way you could like collect GIFs of certain things and then stack them against each other. Because it would be nice to have like one that's like a GIF of the bar front, just without the change, without the transition, then another one with the transition to 2 pulls, then one without leaving the 2 pulls, and then another doing the transition back. But that's a lot of frames you have to work with there. Let's think about that for a second. I guess for now, one of the things we will do is we'll draft up like what the 2 pulls will actually look like first, and then that might be something we chase up next time. So let's quickly do that. So where are we? We'll take a copy of this one, and let's zoom in and grab some colors. So, okay, so we do have this previous one as a reference. Let's first get to, where's the countertop? Yeah, which one is it? There we go, bar countertop, that's it. So what we need now is we just need to mark this off down the middle and figure out the partition. So thankfully the panels immediately mark a good midpoint. So we'll just take a red and we'll just immediately put a line right down the center. That's not a red, that's a white. Where is my red? There we go. I have to head off, but thanks for the chill stream. It was less scary to talk than I thought. Also, I have sent the subclass to Meerkat, so hopefully she'll pass on shortly. Well, thank you all for that, Strawberry. I'm glad that you felt more comfortable to chat tonight. Hopefully you had a fun time, and yeah, hope to catch you around. Hopefully, perhaps I'll see you tomorrow when we do some more No Straight Roads. We get to do the fight against Eve, and then see just how chaotic that will get. But yes, you have a good night. You have a good night, Strawberry. All right, so that's now marked off down the center. I wonder I wonder, wonder, ooh. I don't know why I sang that for some reason. I have like Stand By Me on the brain. Does anyone remember Stand By Me? That movie? It was such a... It's weird. It didn't feel like a Stephen King movie the first time I watched it. And it surprised me because I almost kind of expected it to be weirder in that regard. Okay, I'm gonna set the center like... I kind of think it'd be nice to do it like slightly offset. So maybe like put the center like right here. That could be good. And then we'll go to like just here. Frig, I can't even see like where the actual partition is. It's like basically right here on the edge. Not of glory, but of well, it could be the edge of glory, but who knows? Oh god, just getting the partition right is going to be hard. I think it's there. Yeah, it is, and we just move it in slightly. Okay, so bring it in just a tad. Yeah, that'll be a good pool of light. Okay, so now we need to just do a bit of movement around it. Okay, okay, so now we'll just do... I probably should have actually done this on a separate layer. Let's do that. Let's make a separate layer and we'll do it there. Okay, so let's remark it again. So we want it to be right on this center point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so right here. And then, yeah, that's fine because now then we just expand it down, I think, or expand it outwards because that one's aligned. This one isn't. Yeah. Okay, so then this works. So we just need to expand it one out to do what we need. Select tool. And then move this one up. There we go. And there we go. Pool of light made. So now we just need to figure out what the colorations are going to be like. Because how many are there? 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 demarcations. Hey, oh, hello, Astro. How are you doing? Welcome. You're just in time to see me plan out new additions to the Just Chatting overlay. We're just figuring out how we're going to pull off a potentially new animation for this little light strip of a bar countertop. But yeah, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well.
Gentlemen.
Always wonderful when you do that. Maybe I just make it super long. That might just be easier. Yeah, just completely round it off. That might just be better. I'm good, I guess. Well, that's always good to hear. Although I wonder what's the I guess are things like not going like super well at the moment. Always makes me a little worried. I want to make sure everyone's okay. There we go. Well, look. Well, either way, I'm glad you're here, and now you get to relax just with some chill vibes while we slowly make further developments to the bar. You can just take your mind off things and let the power of smooth jazz relax you. It's nothing to worry about. Just got to deal with shiz, you know. Oh yeah, no, I get that. I get that. I mean, heck, I've been dealing with shiz all day today with my group members because we've had like a final report that was technically due last Friday, but because one of my group members unfortunately came down with COVID during it, and because of the paranoia of his parents, got kicked out of his own house and had to live in his car for a week. Our group got heavily delayed as a result of that, so they gave us an extension. Ooh, fun times. Not for him. I felt super sorry for the lad. He was not happy. And understandably so. I wouldn't be happy in the situation he was in either. So, but thankfully things worked out and he was able to, you know. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just weird issues going on again with this mic. I don't know what's going on. I switched over to this mic because the whole point was that it was meant to be fictional. Yeah, no, it sucked. 100%. Apparently the symptoms hit him pretty hard too. Because for a lot of people, it's like it's quite variant about whether the symptoms hit you hard or whether they don't. And so it was interesting to hear from his experience whether it was, easy for him, whether it was hard or not. USB sounds being me with emotions. Yeah, that's always the worst sounds, hearing that disconnect. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. I think I just may need to tinker around with connections and just make sure everything's okay. But yeah, that should be an easy fix. I'll work on it tomorrow before stream, because I prefer for the mic not to cut out when I'm halfway through a boss battle, I'll be honest. Okay, so let's figure out some colorations. Let's figure out some test colorations. So if we assume that this bright red is going to be our outside pool, might be a wiring malfunction? I don't think it is. Like this mic is fresh out of the box. My guess is that because it's USB-A to USB-C, I've sometimes found that there's random issues with it cutting out, but with that type of interface, but it's usually quite rare from what I've noticed. Oof. Yeah, I know. Look, either way, I'll figure it out. I have some ideas for basically debugging tests that should help clear up the confusion and help me determine the root cause. Oops. I should have been using a line. Okay, let's just get at least a base figured out, and then we can start piecing things together. New ball jam. Yeah, no, this song's quite a nice jam, actually. It's funny, I half expected it to be less of a jam, but no, so far the jazz playlist on Pretzel Rock has served me quite well. And I'm honestly glad I moved to it, because now I don't have to deal with the issues I was having with Soundback Track by Twitch. I mean, fingers crossed. I don't know yet if that's going to still be an issue or not in the future, but we'll find out. But hopefully it's less likely to happen. Okay, now we'll just do a quick selecty. Okay, perfect. Now we'll quickly grab darker shade, and we'll do a bit of an interesting transition. Okay, got a decent loop to it. Even though it's hard to tell if this is actually a new song or if it's going through a particular loop. But, you know, I'm not complaining. It's good atmospheric vibes, and that's all that matters. Now, where's the actual end point of this? Okay, so... Oh, sorry. So this inner point goes to about here. So we'll do a bit of a line from here to here. Oops, that's not line tool, that's a paint tool. Makes me wonder how I got the first line so smooth. Okay, and we'll quickly just do some weird highlights. Okay, perfect. Okay, now that looks clean. Perfect, so now that we have that infill to test how that's going to fit. This is weirdly a strange idea, but weirdly a strange idea. Phrasing could be better. This idea is weirdly working, and I'm not complaining because, let's be honest, this is going to be a hard task no matter what. But weirdly, just tracing over the original design is actually doing decently for getting this like pool perfectly shaped up. How have you been anyway, aside from tests and stuff? I've been quite well. I've been a little bit on cloud high after the email that I got recently about potentially being able to pursue a PhD. It's been kind of a bit mixed on it though, because like, you know, my parents were like, oh, this is a golden ticket, you should go for it. Mainly because one of them has finished a PhD. But at the same time, it's like, I just don't know. It's strange because I do like research, but it's one of those things where it's like, you have to be, I don't want to say like you have to be super, super into research, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like, you're either really in or you're really not. And there's no real in between and you have to figure it out. Oh, hooray. Well, thank you, Astro. It's an exciting time, but it's definitely one that's quite nerve-wracking because in one sense, it is exciting to be able to, you know, potentially pursue something big, like a research or like a master of research style thing. But at the same time, it also seems quite nerve-wracking because mainly because in my head, I don't feel like I'm anything too grand. Like, you know, I feel like it's weird. It's this kind of like weird antithesis between my state of mind about how I am in academia versus how I am here on Twitch. Like, you know, here I feel like I'm quite small and I don't know much, but I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm enjoying it. And I have the same mindset when it comes to everything in university. But because of that, I kind of fail to realize some of my own like talent because of just the fact I don't like to speak about it much because I don't know, there's a fine line between being like, you know, confident in the skills you have and selling yourself based on those skills and like just essentially being arrogant. And I don't know where that boundary is. And so it makes me nervous every time to like try and figure out where that boundary actually lies. Ooh, sorry about that. Slight sneeze. Okay. Perfect. Now let's get this over and we'll see how that translates into what we need. I'm gonna, let's see, get a quick selection going here and we'll see how that translates onto what I have. Almost, there we go. Almost like a glove, that one. Interesting. So we can almost just translate this entire thing across like so and then just fill in the rest. Grab this. Quickly do a little bit of infill so I can at least get this like section figured out, and then I can just fill in the rest from there. Okay, so now let's do a bit of a selection thingy-mabobby. Actually, what I will do is I will do a more kind of internal selection of where this central point can go. Wait, hold on. Did I never translate this across? Why am I able to like do a weird selection like this? Hold on. Oh, oops, that's because I accidentally dragged it. My bad. My bad. Okay, let's grab up to here. And we'll just drag it over and we'll just see how far we can take it. Actually, what's probably going to be a better idea is if I do something like this. So I'm going to get rid of the old outline. Actually, I'll keep most of the old outline, but what I'll do is I'll like basically, oh, nope. Slightly messed it up. I'm going to erase this. I'm just going to keep this central point here so I know roughly where I want to extend it to. And then, yeah, because then that way we have an idea of where we want to extend it to, and we can just drag this section to where we want it to be. Nice. Good laugh, Astro. Good laugh. The pedantics of art, but always fun. It's funny. I was listening to was it? I think I want to say it was like an old Fitz video recently, and I feel like I remember him using the heavy laugh as like, you know, a classic, like, as you know, the classic situation of, hey, you need a good laugh, we can fit it. It's because I remembered a joke, then I forgot it. That's what it is. That's fair enough. Honestly, now that just makes me think of what is it, the Trash Taste clip of like Gart when he's like, when he looks at the beer bottle, realizes it's Corona beer, and then starts chuckling to himself. That's what it makes me think of. Okay, so now here comes the interesting step. Oh, good call, Steph. Good call. I should take a drink. I should take a drink. H2O ingested. Thank you. Thank you for that, Steph. Almost completely forgot to do that. Or to just keep myself hydrated because, you know, I should get better at that. It's weird. I do better at hydrating myself at work than I do in my own house. But to be fair, it's mainly because work has good, like, I don't want to say like watering systems, but it just has good hydration stations set up everywhere. Okay, let's quickly just do a little bit of it. This will be an interesting little trick, but we'll just copy these sections like over and over, and then we'll just fill in the rest of the space. Okay, one more. Perfect. Now we just need to do the same thing, and we're good as gold. Also, stretch a bit as well, please. Okay, technically you didn't redeem it, but that's fine. I'll stretch, because I probably should. I've been sitting in this chair almost half hunched over for two-ish hours. So you do have a good point. Ah, there we go. That's okay. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Steph. Okay, let's us grab this, and now, my bad, I didn't see that when I first typed out. That's all good. That's all good. That is perfectly fine, Steph. To be fair, I haven't like updated my redeems in so long, except for adding the one for the glam shades, which you guys blew the community challenge like right out of the water. Like it gave y'all 4 weeks and you knocked it out in 2, and I'm like, wow, that's insane. Oh, I remembered it. Indeed you did, Astro. Indeed you did. Okay. Yeah, so we'll copy this. Paste it. Go to Tools. Flip vertically. Yep, that's what we want. And now we just need to zoom in and perfectly place it right there. There we go. Perfect. So now we'll just quickly... Where do they get him? Where do pirates get their hooks? From the secondhand store? Oh, that's a classic one. That's a classic one. Makes me think of nice. Nice, Astro. It makes me think of what is it? The JT music song Booty Bound, which is all about Sea of Thieves and all the jokes he makes in that. Because like, oh, what's the lyrics for it? Like, there's the lyrics for it are just insane. Booty Bound JT music. Because let's be honest, JT music has some of the most insane lyrics. Yeah, his lyrics has never let me down. Let's see. Yeah, so many of these are just so clever. Where's the one I was thinking of? It's the one that he says for Shiver Me Timber. That's like a fantastic line. Oh yeah, there it is. Is the crackling bones of Captain Soul shall never shiver me timbers. I don't parley with the dead instead. I'm leaving these skeletons splintered. Oh, such a good line. Such a good line. Like, you don't need to be into Sea of Thieves to enjoy like that song in particular, because it's just got such a good beat to it. Like, it doesn't feel empty. It feels so fresh. Wait, was this line? Oh no, that line, okay, that line was 100% from the actual bar counter layer. So I need to quickly remove that. Copy. Paste. There we go. Like nothing ever happened. like the line never existed. All right. So now we just need to make these into the same colors as the pools. So let's quickly do that. So, I'm just thinking, we do also need to like make the actual, what is it? We do need to make the actual, the surrounding area. So let's actually do that in a slightly different color. We'll do it in pink for now. And we'll just quickly do that with a line tool. Just make a line from here to there. Gets you from A to B. There we go. And back in the other direction. Oh, careful. Zoom into the right spot, please. There we go. Now we can just fill that in. There. Perfect. So now we have a good setup for how these pools are going to look. Now we just need to get the coloration correct, which is fine, because honestly, we could probably just, because we do have this old version. So what we'll do is we'll, let me quickly grab the name of this. So bar countertop. We will delete this layer. This will become our new bar countertop. Perfect. And now we'll just quickly switch out the coloration and we can see how the pools look. Because I think those will be nice to work with. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So let's get 1 and 2. And then we'll just quickly fill those in. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay, perfect. Now I'll grab the last 2. So 1 and 2. And now to fill these last colors in. And booyah! Look at that! That actually looks relatively clean now. Yeah, because now we go from 1 pool to 2 pools. Now we just have to figure out the transition. But that's fine. That's a good start at least. The transition is going to be hard, mainly because, what's it called? We're going to have to basically make the transition work through these like other animations that the lights in the background are doing. But honestly, that's something that shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. But I think for now, though, I think that's going to be a reasonable place to call it, mainly because also I have work tomorrow morning, and so I'd really need to catch up on some sleep. So I think for now, that is where we shall call it for tonight. So thank you all for coming out tonight. You've been a wonderful audience. To those of you watching the VOD either on Twitch or on YouTube, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate that. Special thank yous go out to Zeno, Steph, Strawberry, and of course Astro for hopping into chat and making this a fun time. I hope you all enjoyed seeing a bit of the kind of behind the scenes of my like artistic process. I hope I can probably do more of these in the future if you guys like them. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful sleep. Can't wait to see the next stream. Hell yeah, Steph. Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. You're too kind. But yes, I will. Yes, probably next week we'll continue this probably on the Tuesdays. I think this and the D&D campaign creation will keep on. We'll just keep on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then just the long plays in between to break things up. And we'll just keep that as a steady formula. And slowly the stream will evolve, the ideas will evolve, and yeah, hopefully things will just get better and better as we keep going. But yeah, with that, let us find a suitable lead target. Let's see who's doing stuff. Makari's doing stuff, Liehart's doing stuff. Oh yeah, Calrim's doing Power Wash. Calrim actually is a very sweet gentleman. We might go raid him. Just one sec. I'm gonna cut the music there for now because we don't need that anymore. We'll just head to our ending panel while I quickly prep the rest of this. But yeah, with that being, yeah, we'll go raid Calrim. So Calrim is a rogue VTuber. He's also an Aussie as well, same as me. So we'll go send him some love. If you can, we'll set the raid message to just be pub crawl, because I kind of want to push that as being the new raid message. So if you do have it, this will be our raid message. If you do have the emotes for it, go for it. If not, just use whatever emotes you want. But main message, pub crawl. We'll hit him with that when we go for the raid. So yeah, let's do this. Let me just check what he's doing right now. Let me just double check that. Pub crawl. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So that will be what we'll hit him with. Pub crawl it is. Hell yeah, Steph. Hell yeah. Let me just check if he's doing stuff at the moment. Yeah, I think he's still like keep going. So yeah, let's rate him. But yeah, with that all being said, thank you all for coming out tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening or a lovely start to your day. And with that, good night.